Let's face it, you suck at dieting. And losing weight? Well, that sucks too. Giving up isn't an option because you'd rather be thin. You're now listening to the Rather Be Thin podcast with your vocal sensation, an unfiltered, anti-fat acceptance warrior, a serial dieter and food addict herself, your host, Tasia.
Hey, you're now listening to episode number 10 of the Rather Be Thin podcast. I'm Tasia, and it's nice to meet you. Now, before we can even start this episode, I need to make sure you're in the right place. If you're a woman in your 30s or above, and you try to stay on your diet for at least 100 times this week alone, then you landed on the right podcast. So, let's jump right in to this episode of the Rather Be Thin podcast. We all want to get to our goal weight very quickly. We don't want to take the time to just lose a half a pound a week. It's just, dieting's already like a suffer pool of just like, I don't want to do this, but we have to do it if we want to reach our weight loss goals. Am I right? Quick disclaimer. This podcast is purely based on opinions and experiences. Please consult your own physician, as none of the suggestions, information, and topics discussed are intended to replace actual medical advice. We encourage you to do your own research. The Rather Be Thin podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Do you agree with me with that? We want to hurry up and get to our goals. But I'm here to say that restrictive dieting, putting a restriction, depriving yourself, I think is a bad idea. And I want to go over why I think it's a bad idea. And I think you should stay away from restrictive dieting, because it's just a recipe for you to fail and not even reach your goal, because you're just going to end up going off the deep end like I want to do. But basically, when you're cutting out different food groups, when you're eating low calories, when you're eating low carb, when you're eating whatever diet plan you decided to go on to try to lose all this weight, you are restricting and you're depriving yourself of your mental health. I'm being real here. Your mental health is more important than your physical health. Why? Because if you can't even tell yourself you can stick to a diet, you're just going to mess up. You're going to binge. Your mind and body, your mind and body is going to be in a state of mind that is already like basically mush, crap, because you're trying to stick to something that's unrealistic. Restrictive dieting is basically a no-no, and I do not suggest any of you to do this. When you cut out food groups, when you cut out the things that you enjoy in life, you are just setting yourself up to fail. I don't know why I said it like that. You are setting yourself up to fail. And it's just something that you should not put your mental health through. It is something that just don't do it. Just don't do it. Now, when I'm saying restrictive, there's different experts out there that tells us what we should be doing with our mind and bodies. All right. So, for example, there's people out there that say, don't eat past, 7 o'clock. Because when you eat past 7 o'clock, then that's when fat's going to start to stay on your body and all heck's going to just break out. And then when you go to sleep at night, you're going to have dreams about eating the whole damn supermarket. And just don't eat after 7 because it's going to do damage to your mind and body while you're sleeping. It's like, really? And drink water. Don't add any Crystal Light to it because it has those sugars in it. You don't want to have sugar alcohols because that's going to mess with your body. You're going to eat more sugar. I feel that people are just pulling things out of thin air and just saying, you know what, since I don't do it and it works for me, then it should work for the whole damn world, which that's not what the case is. And then I do believe in counting calories. Because if you're eating 5,000 calories and your maintenance is supposed to be 2,500 calories, you are going to gain weight. It just is what it is. You're not going to lose weight eating 5,000 calories a day. So counting calories is a thing. But diets like, what is it called? The HGC diet, HGH, something like that. The one that you eat 500 calories a day, that is going to mess with your metabolism. It's like, I want to lose weight fast too, but dang, 500 calories, that's crazy. But people are doing it. Why? Because someone told them that because we did the research and you should do this restrictive dieting because it's going to give you the best results, then just get the shot and you'll be fine. You 500 calories, you're not going to die. And it's like, what? Does that make sense? Then keto dieting and paleo and vegan and vegetarian and Mediterranean. Like, there's so many diets out there. That's all restricting foods. Foods that are okay to eat if you know how to use them responsibly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why take away things that give you enjoyment? Why restrict those items that makes life worth living? I gotta bring it down. This is true stuff. This is exactly what's getting people into trouble when they're trying to stay on a diet. You're taking away too much. And when you're taking away the things you enjoy, you are setting yourself up to fail. And that's a horrible thing to do when it takes so long to even start a diet. Do you agree with me? It takes a long time to mentally convince yourself that this is the day. This is the time I am ready. Then you get into it, and then after a while, you just say to yourself, what's the point? What is the point of me staying on this diet plan if I have to take away so many things? And these things help you get through life. Days are stressful. Things happen. And you have to just sit there and soak up the emotions just because I want to lose 5 pounds this week and not 3. But if you just lose 3 pounds and still have that piece of cake that you wanted, you'll be able to stay on longer. Yeah, you're not going to have those 2 extra pounds that you could have lost, but you'll have your damn sanity. And I'd rather have my sanity than restrict the foods that I want to eat. Don't tell me I can't eat something. Because you tell me I can't eat something, I'm going to daydream about that something. And if I don't get that something in the next 5 minutes, best believe I'm getting off this diet plan. Don't mess with me. Don't tell me what I can and can't have. Because I know my body better than anybody. And you guys do too. You know your body better. You know what works for you. You know how you feel when you eat something. You know exactly if you ate too much of something. You know. When you're pulling yourself from food a little too much, you're being too restrictive, you're depriving yourself a little too much, you will trigger a binge. You will overeat. Because your mental needs to be fed too, not just your body. If your mind wants a cookie, you figure out in your daily eating plan where to fit that cookie so you stay sane. Do not restrict yourself from that cookie. Do not do that. Do not restrict yourself from the things that make life worth living. You eat that cookie. You eat that cake. You go ahead and enjoy that popcorn when you go watch a movie. You go ahead and eat that ice cream if you want it. Why? Because your mental health. If your mental ain't straight, then your diet ain't gonna happen longer than a few days. I'm telling you that right now. Do not restrict yourself. You will overeat. And another thing with eating and restricting yourself, you won't be able to go out anywhere because you're going to be asking all the time, how many calories does that have? Oh man, it has too many carbs. Dang it, I can't have it. And then you get mad at yourself because you can't have that. Why you need to beat yourself up because you're on a damn diet? It's so frustrating just knowing that you could have it if you just fit it in your plan. You should be able to go out with your friends and have a drink or two. Just fit it in your plan. You should be able to have family gatherings, go to family gatherings, and eat the cookout or eat the wedding food or whatever you want to eat as long as you fit it in your eating plan. There should be no such thing as restriction, no such thing as deprivation. You can make it work. You can fit any food that you want in your eating plan. Because why? You control it. Not the keto diet, not low carb, not paleo, not vegan. You control it. You made this diet work. Do not stick to something that's not going to work for you. Another thing, when you're so restrictive, you tend to not eat foods that could give you more nutrition, could give you the nutrients that you need so you can think, so you can focus. Because that foggy brain thing, I've been through it so many times, restricting my diets. I'm telling you from first-hand experience. I've done it just a few weeks ago, restrictive. It would drive you insane. Your mental health, it deteriorates your mental health being too restrictive. I'm telling you, you don't want to cut out too many foods. You don't want to just stay in a little box saying that, oh, if I don't have this, then I did wrong. I need to beat myself up. And that's another thing. You get guilty. You'll feel guilty if you go off your plan. And that's not a good thing either. You should feel okay with the food choices that you can have. And the food choices you can have is anything you want. As long, say it with me, it fits in your eating plan. There's no reason to feel like crap just because you wanted to have a Hershey's Kiss. Come on. You can easily fit that in. There's no reason for anyone to be on a restrictive diet. No one. Unless, there's always an unless. Unless you have to medically be on a restrictive diet. Now remember, I'm not a professional, but I'm just saying that if you want something, you get that something. You don't let it hold you back. But it must fit in what you're trying to accomplish with your weight loss journey. Now, you know how I feel about exercise. I like that it helps your heart. You get endurance. You get strength. Exercise is a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with exercise. But if you eat on a restrictive diet and you have to exercise too, it's going to be so draining and you're going to feel sad. And most of the time when I exercise, I feel as though that I deserve a treat. I did all that hard work. I deserve a treat. I'm going to get that treat. But if you're on a restrictive diet, you're going to say that you can only exercise and have a protein shake, something that you really don't want. And if you have what you want, you're going to feel guilty about it. And I don't like that. I don't like that mental pull that you put yourself through just because you want to have a little fun with your eating plan. It is okay. It is okay to incorporate the foods that you like. Stop the restrictive dieting. Stop the eating too low of calories. You don't need to do that. You're allowed to have some fun foods. I like that. Fun foods. Not bad foods. Not bad carbs. Fun foods. It's okay. Now, if you want to go crazy and go low calorie, that's all on you. I can't tell you what to do. You can do whatever the heck you want to do. It may work in the short term. Speaking from experience, it may work for the short term. But after a while, your body's going to fight back. Tell you F you. Give me some food or I'm going to eat while you're sleeping. And then you're going to wake up saying, how these rappers get all around me? Well, your brain got mad at you and decided to have a little buffet session. So don't do that to yourself, okay? You basically have to do what feels right for you. If you're on a restrictive diet and you feel off, something's not right. You would know if something's not right. If you're restrictive eating, restrictive dieting, deprivation, if you feel something's off, trust that feeling. Don't suffer and go through that when you don't have to. You really don't have to. Unless, again, you are told that if you don't do a restrictive diet, then your life could be on the line or whatever. But other than that, enjoy your fun foods. It is okay. As long as it fits your eating plan and it will help you get to your weight loss journey while keeping your sanity, keeping your mental health in check, then go for it. I don't see anything wrong with that. If you haven't already, check out last week's episode. You might learn something. Be sure to subscribe and rate the show. I'd appreciate your support. Also, check out the show notes for even more information. And tune into the next episode of the Rather Be Thin podcast. Thank you for listening. Good luck to you. Hear me out again next time. I'm your host, Tasia. Bye.